I want you to lie on the mat, bring your feet and knees together and your big toes if you can together. And I want you to take the feet out at the front and bring the heels around. And I'll just demo this in case my cueing is really bad. You open the feet out so they're a V shape and you bring the heels around so that your feet are about hip width apart and your knees are about hip width apart. And then I want you to take your mind and body connection to the back of your hips. I want you to just feel them in contact with the mat for now. Your arms lovely and relaxed on the mat, and the back of your shoulders, on the back of the rib cage, and the back of your head, with your nose pointing to your ceiling. And I want you just to start this evening, just go into a forward and backward tilt. So if it's easier, just imagine you've got that imaginary marble in between your belly button and the top of your pelvic bone. And I want you to first breathe into the rib cage. And on the out breath, draw those abs down, using those abs, draw the marble down towards your sternum or your 12 o'clock. Breathe in there, draw those abs in on the in breath, and on the out breath, roll the marble back towards your pelvis. So I didn't tee it up because we do it quite a lot, but don't forget when we breathe in to prepare, which means we breathe in and draw those abs in towards that marble. And on the out breath, keep that abdominal contraction and we're going to roll that marble back to the sternum. I want you to keep your feet as light as you can on the mat, folks. I don't want you to press and move your pelvis. Keep going in this forward and backward pelvic tilt, working with your breath, using those abdominals, but keeping those feet lovely and light. So it's your abdominals that is helping you tilt your pelvis forward and back. And then it doesn't matter if you're in the forward or back pelvic tilt, roll your marble back to the middle of your clock face. Keep taking that breath in through the nose into your rib cage. Feel that rib cage expand and breathe out through your mouth. Now, with that imaginary marble at the center of your clock face, you should be there or thereabouts, if not exactly, in your neutral spine. With your shoulders melting into the mat, bring your arms up to the ceiling and the palms facing each other. Now, I don't want to see little bendy fingers. I want to see lovely long arms, long hand, long fingers. I want you to take a breath in on the out breath, reach your right arm up to the ceiling. And on the out breath, bring the shoulder back onto the mat. Breathe in on the out breath, reach the other left hand up to the ceiling. And as you do that, you're trying to draw the arm out to the shoulder joint, and round the back of the shoulder lifts off the mat and gives you a lovely stretch. Keep going, one arm at a time. And each time work on that out breath as you stretch that arm to the ceiling. Breathe in as you retract and bring that shoulder back to the mat. And just keep going for a little while. No hero moves, but every time you straighten that arm, see if you can reach a little bit more, stretching and around the back of your shoulder a little bit more. Keep that breath going into your rib cage, breathing out through the mouth. And a couple more times. Balance up, relax both shoulders into the mat. Turn your palms to the front. Take a little look in your screen. Check that your elbows and your wrists are directly above your shoulders, so your arms are not going out front or behind, but that you can feel your arms really heavy in the shoulder joints. I want you to take a lovely breath in, draw your abdominals in, and on the out breath, I want you to take the arms behind you. Breathe in, out. Take the arms around the outside on the in breath and back up to the top. So I want you to keep going. I want you to keep feeling as if you're trying to stretch your fingers. So you're trying to touch the whole of the outside of your room and working those arms going behind on the out breath, really making sure there's no flaring in the ribs, that you imagine when you breathe in, you really draw that rib cage down as you reach behind. One more time. So you breathe out as the arms go behind. Really feel the back of the arms knitted around the back of the shoulder, that rib cage, and that rib cage stays lovely and still, and the arms go behind. Now, the next time your arms are up to the ceiling, we're going to go the other way. So you breathe in, bring the arms down, and if you can, on the same breath, take the arms around. And breathe out, bring your arms over. Now, I want you to bring those arms over on the out breath because I want you to really engage those abs, really knit the rib cage down so the torso stays beautifully stable, lovely and still. And the only movement is your arms in your shoulder joints. Keep reaching away. Try reaching around the outside of your room with those fingertips. Now, when your arms go behind, hold them there. Keep reaching behind you. It doesn't matter if the back of the hands are not on the floor. I want the elongation of those arms, fingers and the hands and arms reaching out from the shoulder joints. Now, all of us together, you breathe in, draw those abdominals in, knit that rib cage down. On the out breath, I want us all together, bring the arms over on that out breath and lift your head and shoulders and reach. And your hands, when they reach away, should be about the height of your knees. Lovely. Breathe in, head to the mat, arms back down and around one more time. Arms are behind on the out breath, bring them over, lift your head and shoulders and reach your arms away. See if you can reach those arms a little bit more so your shoulders come a little bit further off the mat. Keep your chin away from your chest. Imagine you have an apple between your chin and your chest. Keep reaching those hands away. One more time. Breathe on your next out breath and bring those hands down and the head back to the mat. Take the arms around. Hold it there if you need to wait for your next out breath and come over one more time. Drawing those abs in, folks, reaching those hands away. Point the thumb down towards your mat for me. Palms are facing down. Let's start pulsing. Now we're going to go into the 100. If you feel a bit necky, just pop one hand and just rest your head in one hand as I'm demonstrating. I'm going to give you a halfway marker point. At that point, you can bring your legs up to tabletop. You can take your legs out. You can go into a scissors. You can do whatever you want to add an extra challenge there out of those options for your abs. So we start pulsing more rhythmically as we take our breath, 5 small breaths in and 5 small breaths out. Don't worry if you can't do that. But this evening, you take shorter amount of breaths. And we start pulse, pulse, as you breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're halfway. 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5. And out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Head to the mat. Bring your knees into your chest, holding onto the front of the knees. Circle them around and away from each other. Now the 2 more times, really circling the top of the femur in your hips and back around the other way. Nice work there. Went for the full 100. Take one foot down to the mat and then the other. One last time, arms to ceiling. Breathe in, bring those arms down and around. Breathe out, bring the arms, head and shoulders forward. Breathe in, draw those abs in a little bit more. You can hold behind your thighs here. We're going to roll up. Breathe in, on your out breath, we roll up one vertebra at a time, all the way up onto our sit bones. Send the legs long, keep the arms out in front. Come up over your imaginary beach ball on your lap as you reach forward into your spine stretch. Keep breathing, keep reaching, and come back up to sitting. Bend your knees. You can take your hands behind your thighs or keep them long. We're going to do one more roll back. Breathe in, draw the abs in, come off onto your tailbone. Reach those arms forward, or if your hands are behind your thighs, draw the top of your shoulders to your thighs. So you try and create as much of a C shape as you can in your spine. And you come off your tailbone. Keep reaching forward. Keep drawing those abs in. Breathe in through the nose on the out breath. Come down a little bit more. Breathe in on the out breath a little bit more. And keep rolling down one vertebra at a time. Slowly now through the mid-back. The rib cage lands on the floor. Then our shoulders and our head. And our arms come behind. Reach the legs in the opposite direction. Stretch in each way. Release that stretch. Stretch away with the right arm and the left leg. And release. And now with the left arm and the right leg, stretch away and release. Bring the arms over and bend your legs. Now bring your knees up to your chest and take your bands. I want you to pop the bands around your feet. And we're going to try and roll up. We're going to do the roll-ups all over again, but with our band this time. So with the band around your feet, take both ends in each hand. Head on the floor. Breathe in. Draw your abdominals in on the out breath. Lift your head and shoulders. Really round the shoulders to the top of your thighs. Breathe in on the out breath. Lift the back. Try and lift one vertebra at a time, using that band to help you come up. Come up onto your sit bones. Send your legs long. Place the band in one hand. We're going to walk down our spine into our spine stretch, coming over that imaginary beach ball on our laps. But walking and you down the band and using the band, hopefully to draw us a little bit further forward. You will feel a stretch, or I hope you have a lovely stretch at the back of the hamstrings, or even in the top or the lower part of your back here. Just hold it there. Use the band to keep you in one place and keep that breath. If the stretch releases off, draw on the band a little bit more and stay breathing. And then when you're ready, draw those abs in and walk up your band. So we're going to do a couple more roll downs, really helping mobilize through the spine, but also using our abs a little as well. Be ashamed to waste all that warming up we did in the 100. Breathe in, draw the abs in, come onto your tailbone. Bring the shoulders forward. See, if you need more support from the band, just wrap it around your hands and come forward a little bit more and tip off and come down. Really slow it down. I'm going to watch and see how you get on, but I really want you to work with your breath and come down one vertebra at a time. Slowly through the upper back. Slow, slow, slow. Looking good. Some a bit faster than others, but long as you give every single vertebra that opportunity to come down onto the mat, and then the back of your head on the mat. One last time. Breathe in, draw the abs in. Breathe out, draw on that band, lift your head and shoulders. Breathe in on the out breath. Really can draw on that band to really feel more mobility through your back as you come up. Really nice. Take your bands. Actually, we're going to keep them around our feet, but mine's really twisted, so I'm going to give mine a little shiggle. So keep them around your bands for your feet for the moment, and send your legs long. Lovely straight backs. And let's get extra mobility and do some little rotations and work into the mid back here. So chin parallel to the floor, shoulder blades drawn together. We're going to start, as I like to, just setting it up. I want you to draw the left arm to the side, really feeling that arm glide along the side of the torso. Now, if you hold further down or you've got a tougher band, you really get a nice work there through your lats and those muscles in your mid back. If it's a bit loose, you won't be getting as much work through that part. Now, then keep going. Now, the next time we draw that left elbow back, I want you to draw the abs in, and on the out breath, lift up out of the waist and rotate to the left. Like a little corkscrew, you come out of your waist higher and higher, and then return both arm and torso. Let's draw the right arm back first. On the other side, breathe in, draw the abs in, come up out of your waist, and on the out breath, rotate like a little corkscrew, come up higher and higher, and release all together. Now we go again on the other side, but when we've rotated as far as we can in the waist, turn your head, look over your shoulder, and come all the way back on that same breath. And again on the other side, if you want to bring the arm back first, that's fine. Then rotate in the waist, then turn your head over your shoulder and come back. That way, I feel confident you're finishing every move. You can, if you want, rotate and draw the arm at the same time. Then turn your head a little bit more and come back all at the same time. And again on the other side. Turn your head, work it with the breath, and back. I'd like you to do 4 more as I take a sneak peek. I'm particularly looking at your spinal rotation. I'm particularly wanted to keep an eye out for your neck mobility. I want to make sure you're sitting upright. I want to see some gorgeous straight backs. You need to be drawing your abs and using those abs for a gorgeous straight back. So see how you get on. Draw that elbow, then rotate. Check that you're really able to finish your moves. Really nice. Looking good. Lots of, like you breaking down those movements, and you're looking really, really good. So I'm going to ask you to balance up there, making sure you've done the same number on both sides. And whilst that band is around your feet, we'll take it into another little arm move. Again, I prefer to wrap the band around because I just feel I've got more of a grip. And then I want you to send the arms out long, the arms parallel to the legs, and the inner arm facing your ceiling. Now I want you to keep the upper arm exactly where it is, and you bend the bottom arm, the forearm up and release. Can you see how there's no movement for me in my upper arm? So I'm keeping that as straight as I can. Really need to use your abs more than you realize. And I'm sure Fiona will tell you, if you do this on the reformer, you really do feel the abs. You're working your biceps, but your abs are putting in a little shift. It's less obvious here, but you need those strong abs to be engaged to keep you lovely and stable as you work into your biceps for 4 more. Watch those arms. Lift your elbows for me, Selena, a little bit more. So but reach them, our arms out straight, palms to that's it. And now bend up. Bend the arms up towards your shoulders. Bend your elbows, that's it. And then straighten, but don't move the bottom arm. Then bend again. Keep going. I'm watching you, seem perfect. Try and keep those elbows lifted and straighten. 2 more. Draw in and release. And I think if you do a few, you may start feeling your abs. You may not feel it in your abs at all. Don't worry. And release and down. We are going to stay working in the arms here. What I want you to do now is just sit back a little, put the halfway point of your band across your mat, and then we're going to sit on it. I think we're all agree that those bands are going to go nowhere now. Our rumps are firmly on there. And then I want you to take, I'm going to face you so I can see you. You don't need to see what's going on the side so much. So again, wrapping those bands just slightly around my hands. But I'm leaving a lot more slack now because we're going to take the arms out. Now you here, you can cross your legs if you prefer, folks. Okay? You can have your legs long, or you can, because we're not going to be bringing our arms out front, you can have your knees bent. So pick what feels more comfortable. More importantly, I want you up even on both sit bones and your back up lovely and straight. So let's crack on with the move. Let's take the arms out and lower. Now, if it's really tense on the band, going up as high as your shoulders, you're going to need to loosen it a bit because in a minute, we're going to take the band higher. So one more, and then we're going to take the band up above our heads. Reach, I'll go sideways on. That's what it should look like. And out. And lift up. Now, all that movement should be coming from from the shoulders to our hands. Basically, only in our arms. We're up even on our sit bones. Our abs are, of course, engaged. And you will maybe using them at this point. Shoulder blades drawn together. As you lift and lower, this is a move we do a lot standing and we do kneeling. Rarely have I ever done it with you all sitting down. And lift and low. Don't forget to feel a little bit of tension on that band, particularly as your arms are raised. We're going to do two more. So this is showing you we can be sitting down and still warming up and working out. One more. Lift up, hold it there. Hold, 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 and then take them out. Arms out in line with your shoulders. Most of you know what's going to come next. Yes, you've got it. Little circles. Draw those shoulder blades together. Draw the abs in for another 3, 2, 1. Back round the other way. And there you have it. The band it's a lovely, gentle piece of equipment, but you can really use it to get a nice bit of resistance work in your body. And lower. Give those arms a little shake if you need to. Circle the shoulders back in one direction and back around in the other. Lovely. We'll take a little break from the arms there. Let's go back into our abdominals because they're still fired up. We've just used them quite a bit there in the arms. So one more. I want us to do the triceps. So what I want you to do is take one end of your band, pop it around your left hand, circle it around a couple of times so it's lovely and firm in your hands, and raise that arm. And then dangle. I'm going to go this way. And then I want your band to come down your back. So your elbow is bent, your hand is at the nape of your neck, and you hold the other end and wrap, if you can, the band at least once around the right hand. So if you notice, you can pull it and you've got a good grip on the band. And then pop the hand firm into the back there. And then we're going to reach and draw up and back down. You're going to draw up on that left hand, bend that elbow and release. Reach and bend. Keep going. And if that's feeling too easy, this bottom hand, you wrap the band around it another once. Otherwise, the right arm doesn't move. You draw up and you release. Keep that elbow pointing directly to the ceiling on that left side and release. And you keep going. We'll do about another 4. Lift and release. We're working into our tricep. You may not be feeling it very much, but we'll be going back into it possibly a bit later, and you will then. Another 2 and 1. Lovely. Keep that band. Let's go into the other hand. So wrap it around and go on the other side. So once again, Draw up and release. Now, I don't see the elbow out to the side. The elbow is directly above your shoulder. You lift the arm directly above your elbow and draw it back down. Now, if you've got a lovely tension on that band, I don't want you to lift up and bring back. Control every step of the way. You draw up, you come back. Keep those shoulder blades drawn together. I want to see some gorgeous postures. Keep your chin parallel to the floor. If you're feeling it a little bit into your flexors, take the legs long. I'm not worried about where the legs are. I'm worried about or focusing on the work in your arms. Another 2. And another 1. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Now we can take it back into the abs. So take the band once again around your feet. Come up onto the bones. This time we're going to hinge back. If you notice, the back is straight. We hinge from the hips. So you come back, draw those abs in, come back a little bit more. And we're going to lift a couple of inches and lower. Lift and lower. Keep those abdominals drawn in, working with your breath. Breathe out as you come back and in. Now, we're not coming all the way back up. We've tipped. We've got a workload going through our abs. And we're tipping back and up for 5 more. And 4. This is where I said at the beginning of the class, if you'd rather do that without the band, then you're putting a greater workload through your abs. So you can choose on some of these moves whether to use the band or not. Hold in the band, draw the abs in, reach the arms forward so you get a gorgeous curvature as we did before, and come down 1 vertebra at a time, using your band to really give you the control to try and land every single vertebra. Then, lying down head on the mat, take your left foot out of the band. Draw down on the band. Leg is long on that right leg. And then I want you to send the right left leg away. Now, it doesn't have to be that low, folks. You can have it a little bit higher, okay? And then you're going to bend that right knee into the band, lower the left leg, straighten that left. So it's a form of scissors. You bend it to get it through the band. So you bring the right leg up and down, and then you bend in the left knee through and straightening. I think it's a lovely, gentle way to do scissors. You're using the band for control, abs drawn in, stay in neutral spine, and straightening those legs. And again, if the space between both legs is narrower, I'm cool with that. I want you to be cool with it, and I want you to make sure the technique is all in place. And a few more times. And another 2. And another 1. Lovely. Take the left foot to the floor and bring that leg back up. And let's swap. Pop the left foot in the band and lower the right foot. And we're going to go again. If you want to prep, you can lift and lower that left leg to give you some prep. Then when it's back up, lift and straighten the right leg. As you lower on the left leg, you bend the right leg through, straighten that leg, bend it to go back. Now, anybody who wants to put a little bit of workload through their arms as well, you are quite welcome to hold in the band out one side on each side. So you're drawing the band away, staying lovely and strong through the arms as you're exercising through the abdominals with a pendulum swing on these legs going on. Really nice. I'm going to take a sneak peek, see how you're getting along. Make it a smooth move. Slow it down. Some of you are going faster than your breath. That. Don't forget, this lovely, slow, precise move is actually a little bit more difficult. I totally understand, but it's also working with your breath. You breathe in and out. 2 more. And 1 more. Lovely. Take that right leg through, place it on the mat. Bring the other knee to your chest and take the band off. Now this time, we're going to fold your bands. We're all working with different tensions this evening. So we're going to bend your band, whichever tension you're using, in half. Keep it nice and wide as you can. And then we're going to pop that midway point under our heads, drawing the arms out at the side. Your elbows will likely still be bent. Breathe in, draw your abdominals in. Check that your hips are in a neutral spine. Remember that midway point between the forward and back tilts. Abs drawn in to prepare on the in-breath. On the out-breath, we're going to lift the head and shoulders. Now, I'm hoping this is going to feel rather nice for you because you can rest your head on the band and just focus on the abdominals. Breathe in on the out-breath, lift one leg up to tabletop. Breathe in on the out-breath, the other leg up to tabletop. See if you can lift those shoulders off the mat, folks, a little bit more, and watch that chin. I want it away from your chest. Breathe in, abs drawn in, tap down with one leg and up, and tap down with the other leg. Keep drawing away your head off the floor. Arms can even be keep going. If your band is gives you the give, you can have your arms lovely and long. So lovely and controlled in the arms and the head, shoulders drawn up as much as you can off the floor, chin away from your chest, and these lovely single toe taps. Now, don't bend your knees. I want the movement from your hip. I can see, just watch a little bit. I can see a little, just if you could all watch, I can see a little bit of this going on with the legs. Can you all see the difference between this and this? So if you notice, my knee stays at all times at 90 degrees and the movement is in my hip. And guess what? That puts workload through my abs. The other one just gives me some little joint work for my knee. And your abs are sitting there having a big fat cigar and a chuckle at my expense. Lovely. Let's do a couple more toe taps. Whoop. Another one. Really nice. Take your head to the floor. Let go of your band. Bring your knees in. Circle your knees in the same direction. Massaging your lower back in the mat and back around in the other direction. Lower one leg to the floor, then the other. Tilt that pelvis forward and back slightly. Find the midway point. Breathe in, draw those abs in to prepare and maintain that abdominal contraction. Take hold of the ends of your bands again and make sure your head's lovely and in the middle, and then lift the head and shoulders off the mat. Really make sure those shoulders are lifted. Draw those abs in. Breathe in, and on the out breath, one leg to tabletop, then the other. Now, folks, you can stick with single toe taps. If you want, you can do single long leg, reaching it away. Again, that elongation, when you straighten that leg, imagine that leg reaching out from the hip and back and reaching away, staying beautifully still through your hips, through your torso, those shoulders drawing up off the mat a little bit more, and maybe a tiny bit of workload also going through your arms, all going on, working with your breath. Look, and we haven't really got up off the mat, really, have we? That's how gentle tonight's class is. Let's do 6 more. And 5. And 4. And 3. Keep breathing, nearly there. 2. And 1. Awesome work. Head back to the floor. bring the band over and just bring those knees in for a couple of circles in one direction and back round. Lower one foot to the floor, then the other. Now this time you're going to take the band in your arms. One last little ab work this evening. I know you're loving it, but we've only got time for one more. Okay, arms reaching up, hands on the band about shoulder width apart. Reach, reach, reach. You breathe in. Once again, you know the drill. We reach forward with that band. Now, if you've got too much give on your band, bring your head back down, fold it in half again. I don't particularly want you to have a lot of give, and I've got a looser band here this evening. And so I really, if you can notice, I want there to be some give, but I don't want it to be really loose. So if that was you, or if we're all set off once again on the mat, we'll go together. Breathe in, draw your abs in. Breathe out, reach those arms away as you lift the head and shoulders off the floor. Breathe in, one leg up to tabletop, and then the other. We're going to go into crisscross. So I want you to straighten the left leg and rotate the arm around the right, almost bringing that underside of your left armpit over towards your sternum. And swap. And swap. Really reach those arms. Really get a twist in your waist and across your torso. Really get into those obliques, but staying gorgeously straight on those legs. Let's see how you get along. Nice and slow. Reach over. Keep the chin off your chest. Looking good. Making sure you keep the shoulders lifted as much as you can. Another 6. And 5. Nearly there. 4. Keep breathing. For 2. And 1. Lovely work. Lie back down. Take the feet to the floor and arms out to the side. Bring your knees and feet together. Drop your knees over to the right and turn your head to the left hand and breathe. And bring the knees up using those abdominals and go the other way. And just take a few lovely breaths in there. Lovely. Come over onto one side. So you're facing the screen ideally, so you can see what's going on. You certainly wouldn't want to just listen to the instructions, that's for sure. Take the middle of the band again and pop your foot in that band. Take both ends of the band. Check that you've pretty much got even amount. So even with 2-meter bands, you need that good length there. Come back over onto that one side and make sure that your hips are lovely and stacked. And of course, folk, you can do this without the band should you wish. If you're doing this without the band, come and lie down on the one arm, okay? Otherwise, we are on our forearm, elbow directly under our shoulders, and you're holding the band in place with that underside arm. So lovely and stacked. Foot flex so the band stays on for you. Lovely and strong through your torso. Abs drawn in on the in-breath, and on the out-breath, we lift and we lower. And really draw on that band. Allow there to feel a little bit of tension. Bring your hip a little bit closer towards me, Susan. You're just leaning back a little bit. That's it. Bring that hip bone up and lower. Doesn't matter if you haven't got that movement there. I want you to work into your abductors. Let's go for 5 more. And 4. Still need a cam. Bring that top shoulder and torso over to me a little bit. It may always be the angle of your camera as well, but you do look at it. That's fine. Another 3 and 2 and 1. Take the band both sides with one hand and keep hold of it. We're going to come onto all 4 points. Lean on that band with that top hand or the same hand as the leg. take that leg out and we lift and lower. So I want you to imagine, keep going, that the hip bones are like headlamps down onto the mat. You're drawing those abs in. I want you to stay lovely and strong through your arms as you lift and lower. Keep going for 5, 4. And again, you can do this without the band should you wish. And 3, and 2, and 1. With their toes tucked under, come back, lie back on your side. Bottom leg is bent. Hips and knees are stacked. You lift your leg up again, this time in line with your hips. Flex your foot, bring that leg forward, hold it, the band with the top arm, you take it back. I'll go at a slightly different angle so you can see what I'm doing here. You bring the leg forward, draw on the band, take the leg back until you feel that glute really, really worked into, and lovely. And so you'll only be able to take it that far back. The workload goes into your glute. Give it a squeeze and bring that leg forward. Let's do 4 more. Keep that leg as high as your hip, no higher, and keep that height consistent. Another 2, and 1. Now keep the band in that hand. You're going to like this bit. You're going to come over onto your backs. So once again, feel your hips lovely and level on the mat. Lower the left leg. Bringing that leg up directly above your hip. Straight leg, knee and ankle directly above, with a gorgeous flex in your foot. Draw down a little there, so you get a deeper flex and you feel, hopefully, if you need it, like I do particularly, a stretch down your calf, okay? And then start bringing that band slowly towards you, so the leg starts coming towards you for a stretch down the hamstring. So you're stretching now, hopefully, from the back of the ankle, depending on how flexed your foot is, right up to the high hamstrings under your buttocks there. Now, I'm not expecting that leg to come very close. I am expecting your leg to be as straight as you can. And as long as you can feel that stretch, that is what matters. Don't force it, breathe into it. Few more breaths. 2, and 1. Release the tension on the band, bring the leg back up. We're going to do one big hip circle in one direction and then one in the other. I want you, before we start, to really bring your mind-body connection to the top of the femur in your hip joint and really feel that as mobile as your range of movement will allow. Relax off in the foot a little bit. Breathe in, draw that leg towards you using your band. Start taking it to the outside. You can bring your left arm out to the side to counterbalance should you wish. And using the band, get a gorgeous big circle all the way around in that leg, over the body, over the other side, and all the way back up to the starting point. When you're at your starting point, go back around the other way. So you may be going to stretch down through your leg, but I'm also hoping you get a gorgeous mobility in the femur in your hip. Beautiful stretch all the way around. Lovely, lovely stuff. Bend the knee into your chest and take the foot to the floor. Come back over onto that original side we started, just to close off. Now, we're just going to do a few little lifts. I'm going to give you an alternative. So you've got your shoulder underneath, your elbow underneath your shoulder. The alternative of this lovely gentle oblique work, hand on the side of your head, elbow in your peripheral vision. And I want you to imagine you're taking the armpit over to your bottom hand. So the elbow comes over to the bottom hand. You've really rotated in your waist. You come back up. All the while, folks, you're drawing up as if you've got a big ball underneath your underside waist and you don't want to touch it. So you're really drawing up. Now, that's one option. I'm going to give you another option, and then we'll all do 5 of our chosen options. You can do this one with or without the band. Okay, so you're in this position, or you can have your leg long. It's your choice, okay? So the next option is this. You can come up and lower. The other option is you come up and you lift and you lower. So this is the extended option. You're drawing on that band, arm is lifted, and there we go. So pick your poison, get into place. All of us need our hips, knees, and ankles lovely and stacked. All of us need that underside waist drawing away from the mat. We all need our shoulders away from our ears. If we're necky, we can take our eyeline and head down to look towards our underside elbow. Get into position, breathe in, draw the abs in, and on the out breath, let's go for 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5. We come down, we release, walk the hands in. We're in our mermaid. Reach over our feet for a lovely side bend and over the other way. Feel that stretch out of the hips. Back over the other side and over once again. Lovely. And we need to do the legs on the other side. So before we do that, bring the legs in front. I want you to rotate the legs inwards. So we've got internal hip rotation, knees going in, feet going out, and we stretch our legs out. Then I want you to rotate the whole of the legs in the hips the other way and bring them in. And we just do a few little hip rotations, really mindful of our hip health all along the way. 1 more. And out. Lovely. Let's take our bands. I think we started with those bands around that top leg. Band for the moment in the left leg, or whichever leg you're on this time. I'm on my left side. Elbow underneath your shoulder. Stay first, make sure you've got a lovely position and posture there. And you can use both hands to hold your band should you wish. Stack in your hips, bottom leg bent. Top leg flex, starts outside, reaching away in line with your hip. And we lift and we lower. Lift and lower. Let's keep going. We're going to do about 10, or exactly 10 we should be. And lift and lower. Keep those abs drawn in, those hips stacked as we do. And again, as I said on the other side, you don't have to do it with the band. And if you're not using the band, you can lie down on your arm. Another 2 and 1. Holding those 2 ends, place them under your hands. We come over onto all 4 points. Make sure that your hips are facing down to the mat. You're lovely and long through the arms and the neck. And send that leg long that's in the band. Breathe in, draw the abs in, folks. And we're going to lift and lower. Lift and lower. And again, if you're using the band, up with control, but equally lower with control. Lift and lower for another 5. Looking good. And 4. Leg lovely and long, reaching out from the hip. And 3. And 2. And 1. Come over onto the side, bend that bottom leg and come back onto your forearm. Leg reaching out away from you. And this time, nice flexed foot. You're going to bring that leg forward and take it back. Really nice long leg and working into your glute. Bring it forward. So getting a really nice bit of mobility through the hip, but more importantly, really working through that buttock. So you bring that leg forward, squeeze that glute as it goes back. It doesn't need to go all the way back behind you. It probably shouldn't or wouldn't. Bring it to the front as far as your range of movement will allow, and back working into the glute. For another 3. Keep those abs engaged. Another 2. Lovely. And another 1. Really nice. I'm going to admit, did we do circles as well? Or did I forget to do circles on the other side? I think I forgot the circles. So we'll do the same. I can't remember what else we did on that side. So I'm going to give you a little glute holiday on that side. And we'll go into our side bends. Oh, I'll just be here all day trying to remember. Stacking your hips, knees and ankles, and abs drawn in. Just like on the other side, you can rotate in the waist. Keep that underside waist off the mat. You can keep the top leg long should you wish, or keep both lifted. You can use the band for extra work or not. So you breathe in. I know we forgot to go straight onto our backs. That's what we did. So we'll do these and then we'll go onto our backs. We come up, come into the one you want to do. Reach up and lift. Really get that the waist off the floor and up. And 3 more. 2. Lovely. And 1. Lovely. Down with control. Release the band with control. Bend the knees. We come up into our mermaid. Arm comes up. We reach over our feet. Reach, reach. And back over the other way. And 1 more. Over our feet. And back the other way. Now we're going to take our bands and quickly or otherwise work through that leg. Knew there was something else, but it wasn't working into the glute. I went straight into our stretching from there so we could squeeze more in. So with the band over your other leg now, straight as it was before, knee and ankle above your hip. Draw down first to really get the biggest flex in the foot that you can get, hopefully feeling a stretch down the back of your calf. So draw down, breathe into that stretch. And then slowly keeping that leg lovely and straight, bring that leg towards your chest. Now it doesn't have to come on your chest, you just bring it down in the direction for a stretch all the way up the back of your thighs as we try and work into those hamstrings. Take a breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Don't force your stretch, but if you feel after a couple of breaths the tension easing off, draw that leg just a little bit closer and take a few more breaths into that stretch. Really nice. Bring that leg up, lower the right leg so you have some room, and take the right arm out to the side to counterbalance. Breathe in on the out breath, bring that leg towards you, take it to the outside, all the way around, using the band in your arm for really lovely control of that leg. When you come all the way back to your starting position, lovely breath in, leg comes over the midline and all the way around, really feeling that femur circle in your hips and all the way back around. Bend your knee into your chest and take the band off. And actually, this is a beautifully, I didn't plan it this way, but take your band while we're lying there and make it one long band. And I want you to hold it much wider than your shoulders. And I want you to come over onto your front. So before we start, walk your legs away from you. Create gorgeous distance between your hips and your lower ribs. Press your hips into the mat and draw the abs to your spine. Send your arms long out in front of you. Now, we're going to do about 3 of these little moves here. I would, on the first one, hold your band quite wide or have quite a bit of slack, because I want you to get a stretch in your shoulders, but I want you to try and gauge how wide you need this band. So keep it quite wide first. Look down as if you're looking at yourself in a mirror there on your mat. Breathe in, keep those abs drawn in. And on the out breath, reach the arms away from you. So they reach away off the mat. And take a few breaths in there. Some of us don't like this move. We will, because we're working some of those muscles in our neck and shoulders that really help support our neck. Then on the next out breath, send the arms up. You're drawing on the band here. Take the band over your head. Reach away. You feel your shoulder blades draw together, folks, and your sternum lift or peel up off the mat. Keep your eye line where it was and point your fingertips towards your heels. And then come back over and down with control. If you felt the band was too wide, bring your one hand in a little. If it felt perfect, fine, and so on. We're going to go again. So holding the band, reaching away with your arms still on the floor. Breathe in, draw your abs in, press the hips into the mat. Breathe out, send the arms long, out in front of you. Eye line, you're looking at the mat. Breathe in, and on the out breath, start lifting those arms up over your head. Take the band over your head and bring it down towards your buttocks. Your fingertips reaching away. If you've got it particularly tighter, you'll draw your shoulder blades together and you lift in the sternum off the mat. So it's a kind of version of the dart, right? Reach the fingertips, point the fingertips down towards your heels. Take a few breaths in there, and with control, really stay controlled as you bring the arms over and you come back down to the mat. I'd like you all to do one more, play with the band a little before you go again, and I'd like to see how you're all getting along. So arms out in front of you, but on the mat or on the floor. And then breathe in, draw the abs in and reach those arms up off the floor. It doesn't have to come up terribly high, but it has to be out in front of you for a few breaths. And then draw in those abs in, lift the band over your head. Take them over so the band's on your buttocks. Draw your shoulder blades together. Reach your fingertips down towards the mat. Lower your head. Your eye line should be towards the mat. Keep that neck lovely and long. You want to like the crown of the head reaching away from you. Few breaths in there and draw that band back over and lower back down. Release the band. Pop a hand each side of your shoulders. Press up. Bring your bottoms to your heels and reach the arms out front in your child's pose. And breathe. Release out through your lower back. Few more breaths in there. Then I want you to circle your arms around you, bring them by your side, and take a few more breaths there. Really nice. And then all come up, and we'll just finish here. We've come out of time already. So we'll just finish on our bottoms with a little bit of breath work. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees bent, and come forward into your butterfly stretch, forearms on your shins, and have a lovely little release out through your back. And take a few breaths in there. Take the breath in through the nose and into your rib cage, and out through the mouth. On the next in-breath, engage your abs and roll back or sit back up to sitting on the out-breath. Bring your arms by your side, draw the shoulder blades together, use those abdominals to keep you lovely and stable through your torso. Breathe in, and on the out-breath, drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Just take a few breaths in there. Turn your head to look at your shoulder. Keep the lovely breathing rhythm. Turn your head to look to the front and back up. And let's go on the next out breath over to the other side. Allow the weight of your head, and with each breath, allow the air to get a bit closer to your shoulders. No, don't force anything. Then turn your head to look at your shoulder. Turn once more to face the front and up. Turn your palms to the ceiling. We're going to take a massive, lovely big breath in through the nose and into the pits of your abdominals as you reach up. And a big exhalation through the mouth, allowing the abdominals to relax on that out breath. Take another gorgeous breath in, reach up and out. And one more, breathe in, reach up, bring your palms together. Breathe out, bring your palms down in front of you, elbows wide. Sitting upright and strong on your sit bones, bring your thumbs to your sternum. Take another lovely breath in, this time into your rib cage. Feel your rib cage expand. Breathe out through the mouth. And again, take the breath in and start finding your own natural breathing rhythm. Keep those shoulders from your ears, folks. As you breathe more naturally in through your nose and out through the mouth. And you're done. Thank you so much, everyone. Lovely.